Welcome to We Watched It, your new home for TV and movies.
What's up, world? Welcome back to We Watched It. We're here to talk about From. This is Expert's favorite show. It used to be my favorite show, and it's starting to go the wrong direction for me, but we go jump into all of that. So right now, we know we are talking about what season, Mike? What season are we on? We're on season 4,
We're on
right?
season 4 now, yes.
Yeah, so season 3 left us with a lot of big cliffhangers. We did get a little bit of information. You know, I'll say this about season 4. The only thing they've really told us is what does Akui mean? That's all we got. We ain't got nothing else. We know what Akui means.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, you got some other stuff. I mean, you got to see Julie doing her story walking thing. You know, she got better with that. They were talking about the man in yellow a little bit
See,
more.
that's the thing with From, man. They just keep adding stuff in with no explanation. You don't watch the first 3 seasons, you never saw the man in yellow, and now you see him come out the woods. You see him kill the dad. Then you see him turn into a girl.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like, and
the man in yellow came out in season 3 towards
he
the end
did
of that.
at the end
yeah.
of the season. He did, but
And
I
killed
will
Jim.
say this though, they did get me on when there was the accident in the town. I really did think that was the girl's dad, although it didn't really make sense because I think he was a priest. They don't typically have kids, but at the same time, it was a good little, you know what I'm saying, I guess, fake out, if you will.
Yeah.
Now, when they were saving them from the car accident, I was like, why not just let the seat back? I don't understand what's going on here.
Maybe it wasn't let. I don't know what was going on with that. You know, they got to make it difficult. It's a TV show. But yeah, I mean, I still like the show. You know, the season 4 is starting off a little slow, but they say the next episode is supposed to be a lot of the action and stuff. It's supposed to be going on. You know, you got the scarecrow monsters or whatever they're going to be called, you know. So you got different things, you know, going to happen. And then we should see Julie. I'm more excited about the story walking. You know, I love the time travel type stuff or whatever. I just want to see, you know, I want to see her story walk a little bit more.
I guess what I'm a little disappointed is they started with character development for me for Boyd, and now it's just kind of got stuck. Boyd seems to be stuck in the same place. There's no development. His son is totally unimportant at this point now. I didn't really care for that. And then I guess also didn't care for the whole birth situation. It was just stupid and from the beginning to the end, her eating the rotten fruit, eating the rotten vegetables, and nobody actually like kind of batting an eye at this. And then being pregnant but not pregnant, and now you birth one of the monsters they killed at the beginning. I didn't really like that they still haven't explained that, man. That was a little bit much for me. I'm just being honest with you. And then Fatima, I just don't understand, why did Fatima birth a monster? Like, what's going on with her that would happen to me?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that was part of the story because, you know, this is a story that's been going on and on. It's like a circular thing. So I think that was part of the story. I think actually Boyd killing that monster, he was allowed to kill the monster just because it was part of the story. You know, I think until they're able to really deviate from the story, they're probably not going to really get out of there. And every time they try to deviate, like Jim, I think some of the stuff that he was doing may have been deviating from the story or learning too much, and that's why he got killed. So, yeah, I just think that it was part of the story. We'll probably find out more. I don't know when we're going to find out more, but I'm sure
And
we'll
that's the problem.
find out more about it.
That's the problem with the show. We don't know when we're going to find things out. Things are just kind of lingering and hanging out. And I'll be honest, man, before I get into this next little part, it's a little bit of a rant for me. I don't like Elijah's character. This is a stupid character. I'm not going to let nobody break my hand with a hammer and then gouge up my eye. I'm going to tell you what's going on. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That made, and then you still fold it, and now your hand is broken. You got no eye.
Got no eye. Yeah. That was just dumb right there, all in itself. Like, I mean, if they gouge out your eye and broke your hand, you might as well just not tell them anything. You already don't suffer the consequences.
Exactly.
You know,
You already all the way in.
Yeah, you should have told them a long time ago. And another thing, my biggest thing with the whole thing is they don't talk to each other.
Right.
If they talk to each other and shared information, they'll probably have been out of there by now, or at least been close to getting out and knowing what's going on. Everybody keeps a secret to themselves. And I'm like, yo.
Or they can't tell, like, I got to tell you something. Well, why can't you just tell me right now?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing I don't like. It's just like.
And then The other character I can't stand is Ethan. I'm sick of Ethan. Like, I actually want one of the monsters to get Ethan. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of him and his questions. I'm tired of him always getting into stuff and running away. I'm
Yeah.
so sick of that character.
You want
I
one
just
of the
need
monsters?
people to. But here's the thing, man. Every time we have some type of horror, we don't need some ridiculous little kid involved doing these ridiculous things. What's going on? Do you think I know what's going on? We're in a town we can't get out of. Okay? Why you keep asking me this? We've been here like a year now. Do you think there's literally people outside smiling that are killing people that are not real? So I mean, the boy knows all this by now. Why are you still asking me? My house fell down and I don't know why it fell down. It literally just imploded and you keep asking me what's happening.
Yeah, I think Ethan's important to the whole story though. So, I don't know. I think he's important. What I do think is gonna happen though, I think what's her name? Deborah is her name?
Mm-hmm.
Debbie,
Donna.
Deborah?
You
Donna,
talking about
yeah,
Donna?
yeah, I said Deborah. Yeah, Donna. I think she's gonna die next episode, honestly. And
I like Donna's character, but I'll be feeling like they don't give Donna nothing to do. Donna
no,
be
they don't.
sitting around and she always gotta like, take care of everybody, find out about something after the fact. Her and Boyd do a terrible job of like sharing information.
Yeah.
They have totally underutilized Donna's character because at the beginning her character was actually fire.
Yeah, but I think she's gonna die in this next episode because they got to start killing off some people. They got to kill off some, and not just extras. They got to kill off people who really, like they did Jim. They're gonna have to kill. And
Right.
I think Donna's gonna go this next episode. I mean, because now they're starting to tap into her emotions and how she feels, and she's telling Tabitha, I'm gonna protect. I'm gonna make sure that I go before you and your family goes. What I look, she was saying different things. So I think once they do that in these movies and they tap into a character like that, usually they're probably about to die.
Time for you to get up out of there.
Yeah, and I think she's gonna die. I don't want her to, but then also, before she left with the backpack to go out there and get more food and all that, she showed Kenny how to run the colony house. Remember, she's the head of the colony house. Yeah. And now Kenny knows how to run things and all that and what he's supposed to do and all that. I think they did that because they're about to kill her off.
And don't you think like that should have been Boyd's son stepping up to basically run Colony House?
Yeah, Boyd's
What
son
does
is irrelevant. He's been
he
irrelevant
like? Yeah,
since
for a
season
long
one.
time.
Yeah, he just been irrelevant. He hasn't really done anything. He didn't
He
help.
hasn't developed at all.
No, he hasn't helped Boyd, police the area or nothing. He just doesn't do anything. He just follows around Fatima and, oh, what can I do for you and all this. And he just doesn't accomplish anything. So he's an irrelevant character. Like, he's really the one, instead of Donna, he's really the one that needs to go.
Yeah, but if they do that, that's gonna completely break Boyd, and then he'll just
Yeah.
totally go crazy. So they
Yeah.
can't do that yet. I'll
Mhm.
tell you another character that seems to be underutilized is Danny. I don't understand what's going on with her. They don't really seem to know what they're doing with her. And then Danny, why would you get in the ambulance and keep driving around? Like after the third trip, you can't get out. I
You
don't
said
understand this.
Danny, you mean,
The cop, the cop,
yeah, but that's
the
that's
lady
her
cop.
name?
Yeah, it's Danny, isn't it?
I don't think her name is Danny.
Yeah, I think it is Danny. Yeah, her name is Danny, the lady cop.
Oh.
Remember, she was in the last group of people that just got dropped
No,
off.
I know
here.
who she is. I understand. I just couldn't remember
They
that
don't
her
really
name
say
was
her
Danny.
name a lot in the show, though. I don't
Yeah.
think. But they haven't really given her anything to do. I don't really like that. And then again, you've been in the From town long enough to know this is not normal.
I know why I couldn't remember her name was Danny because they call her by her last name, Acosta.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I've never heard them even say Danny. That's why I was like,
but Acosta, if you
yeah.
want to, or Danny Acosta, they don't give her anything to do. But my biggest issue with that character is you've been in the town long enough to realize this isn't normal, right?
Mhm.
She's already seen the monsters kill somebody.
Yeah.
So why panic at this point and tear up that doggone, emergency vehicle? And to me too, with the ambulance, y'all need the ambulance. Why you blow the tires out? You need that thing.
Well, they had to blow the tires out to get her to come back because basically the other girl hopped in there with her or whatever. And if they stay in there and it gets dark, there's a good chance that at least one of them
Yeah,
are
they
gonna
have no
die.
talisman down there in trouble.
Yeah, and at least one of them gonna die. So they had to get them, back. They had to just sacrifice the ambulance to do it.
And see,
So
it's things like that that I don't like. That like okay, I get it. You're panicking and you're gonna like, I guess, kind of break at this point. But again, you've been there long enough to know this isn't like a normal place.
Yeah,
You already tried to leave once and you couldn't get out when you first got there.
exactly. Exactly.
So what are we doing here? You're a police officer. You got to keep your head.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And honestly, since she is a police officer, they should have gave her a role in there. Like she should have been with Boyd,
There you go.
doing that kind of stuff, helping him out and policing the area and
Because
stuff like
unlike
that.
Kenny, she's an actual police officer. Kenny's
Yeah.
just a guy they gave a badge to.
Yeah, and Kenny didn't even really want to keep doing that anyway, especially ever since his mom died, his dad
Right.
died and his mom died. He was trying to go in a different direction. So this was a chance for him to get somebody that is really that could probably help him with this.
Here's the other thing too. The diner has become completely unimportant. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
diner was important. I get it. They don't got no, like, I guess, restaurant or nothing. But I mean, one of them characters should be like, oh, I'll open the diner up and I'll cook the potatoes. They got that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they did.
I get that, but it's become irrelevant again. Though it's like they kind of like underutilizing that to me.
Yeah, the lady, they brought it back. For a little while it kind of went away, but the black lady, I forgot her name, but she brought it back, making the food and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think it's coming back into play, but other things are going on right now. I want to see the story walking. That's my biggest thing. I just want to see more of the story walking.
I want to see more of Sarah because Sarah can survive The Walking Dead. She can survive this. She know what time it was. You remember she was not going to let my guy not tell her what's going on. She took that eye out. Because
Yeah.
Boyd didn't do that. She did that.
Yeah, but Boy did the stuff with the hand, beating his hand or whatever. But Sarah is kind of off and on with that a little bit because she still let Sophia, trick her into drinking that water and pouring it back in and doing all that, taking a sip of the water and pouring it back. And all that really was a test. Sophia was just testing her, to see if she still can manipulate Sarah. And she sees that Sarah can still be manipulated. So, so we'll see how that goes. I think Sarah's a G, but when Sarah gets to the point where she stops caring, that's when she really, she becomes
Turns
a
it
G.
up.
Yeah, she turns it up a little bit.
Yo, if you was Elgin, man, and your hand is busted and you don't lost an eye, would you deal with any of them after this? Would you even have any words for them after this?
No, I wouldn't help them with nothing. I wouldn't help them
And
with
would you
a
still
thing.
be cool with Fatima? You don't took an L like that? Like, and that's what's crazy. Elgin took that L, and Fatima's not even his girl.
Exactly.
It's not, and then what's crazy is Fatima's not even his best friend. They haven't even known each other that long. For him to take an L like that.
Yeah, well, he took the L because not for Fatima's sake. He took the L because he thought that they were going to be able to go home. Now, my thing is, why would you believe something that looks like that, though? Yeah, that she's basically a monster. Why, if something like that was talking to you, are you going to believe that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't
Well,
make any
and at
sense.
the time, looking at everything that's going on, why not just share the information with the group? What could you
Exactly.
really go wrong?
Exactly. Like, tell everybody. I would tell everybody, like, yo, there's this thing talking to me. They're telling me to do this, 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 and this. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. It just doesn't make any sense. And that's the thing. The fact that they all don't talk to each other is the reason why they're still in the place that they're at right now.
Yeah. And I did like, Henry coming in because that brings up the father and son dynamic with Victor. Although Victor from time to time does get on my nerves.
Yeah.
But at least he's actually giving us a lot of background of what's happening. And I think with From, this is where really the rubber meets the road, man. From is gonna soon turn into like Walking Dead. And what I mean by that, Walking Dead was a great show until it just got stuck in this loop of not explaining what started the zombie apocalypse and how you could possibly end it.
Yeah.
You can't wait to get to Daryl Dixon after all them seasons of Walking Dead and finally decide, oh, the zombies have evolved. Maybe there is a cure. They just waited too late. And I think that's kind of what's going on with From. It's just not enough answers, man. You can't keep spinning people in a circle.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you don't really want to explain what's going on, right? At least give us a reason why these people keep ending up here.
Yeah.
Give us that. Or stop adding extra stuff in. You got the monsters that smile. Then you got the stuff in the woods with all the different artifacts and little signs and, that
Mhm.
whole little community they found that nobody lived in, right?
Yeah.
And then the man in the yellow, we can't keep adding stuff. You know what I'm saying? With no answers.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Henry, the dad or whatever, I was watching the stuff and I think there's something weird there a little bit. Cause you gotta think he said that his wife, I think was it Madison, I think her name was, drew all those pictures in the thing. It was, in their house in the basement, right? One of the a few of the pictures she drew was a picture of the man in yellow, right? Now this is before she went to, this place, to this Fromville or whatever, and she drew pictures of the man in yellow. So that right there would tell you that she knows the man in yellow. She had not knows it, but had visions of the man in yellow, seen him before. Well, if you look at the episodes now, Victor is saying that the man in yellow came to Fromville as a, in a car, regular person and stuff. He was basically one of them, and she ran out, and Victor basically was saying she ran out and didn't know the man in yellow until, well, she didn't know until Victor or whatever, because Victor had seen him and Victor had told her about him and all that stuff or whatever. It was either Victor or the daughter, somebody had told her about him. Well, she had to have known of the man in yellow before she came to Fromville, right? But Victor is basically saying as if she didn't know who he was. So if she didn't know who he was, then she couldn't have drew those pictures. So I'm thinking, what if the dad actually drew those pictures and the dad is actually something else, not really, the dad is part of this whole thing or whatever.
That's true because we still haven't really established did she make it back to the real world or not?
Hmm.
I mean, we think she did, but we still really don't know. That really wasn't confirmed.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked her to spend some more time in the real world and like convince people that the Fromville even exists.
Are you talking about
Maybe,
Tabitha?
yeah, maybe like kind of run into some mental health issues because you keep talking about some stuff that sounds outlandish. I mean, and here's the thing, man. I get it. She would have to go back because her kid is there, her
Hmm.
husbands are there. I mean, if you made it out, I don't know, man. I might have to pray for y'all.
Nah,
Hey,
I
man.
have to I have to go back. I gotta be wherever they at or whatever. But honestly, she didn't just go back or whatever. It wasn't her thing really to just go back.
No,
It just happened,
it just happened.
Yeah, and honestly, I think when they were in the thing or whatever, let me think. Yeah,
Well,
when they were in the thing, she was trying to stop it or whatever. It's like stop the
yeah, because they
car
were in a
from.
car accident. They were in a car
Yeah,
accident. That's how they ended back there.
yeah. No, so
Well,
you
this is
know,
something else with From that kind of is like one of them loops that they didn't close, right? Boyd and all them, remember they were all kind of converged on the lighthouse slash tower, right?
yeah.
And the old guy that's chained up and is trying to kind of give Boyd a little game. Who is he? Where did he come from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think he might be like a future person or something, or, they're still going to get into that more because, Julie is actually, I think Julie and Randall and the other girl, I can't remember her name, but they're all going to be chained up or whatever because Julie saw the visions of all of them chained up, including herself or whatever. So that could be future them or something like that, chained up. Because he could be a story walker himself, so I don't
I
know.
guess the major issue with the show is the pacing, man. The pacing of the end of season 3 and the pacing of season 4 has been terrible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it can't keep moving at such a slow pace with such limited answers. Like I'm on the verge of quitting. I remember I
Mhm.
started watching what is that show? Yellow Jackets. And I liked it at the beginning. I don't know if people have seen the show, but basically a soccer team crashes in the woods and crazy things happen. There's some cannibalism and only a small few of them make it home.
Yeah.
But after a while, it's telling you the forward story and the backward story all at once. But again, after a while, too much time with no answers, and eventually I just was like, you know what, I'm good. I'll watch something else. With so many choices to watch now, you gotta speed the pace up. And it seems like the writers are writing themselves in a corner to make so many episodes.
Yeah. Well, one thing they mentioned was by the time season 4 ends, you should have most of all the answers. So, we'll see how that goes. I know there's only two more, well, this season and then season 5. So we know that's going to be it. And they said a lot of the answers you should have at the end of this season. You should know a lot. So far in the beginning, they feel like filler episodes, leading up to something that's supposed to happen big. I keep hearing that this next episode is supposed to be a lot of stuff going on. So we'll see. We'll see.
I would like for them to hurry up and film the next season
Hmm.
because I can't wait no 2 years again or a year and a
Yeah,
half. That's just too
yeah.
much, yo. That's too much.
Now, if I gotta wait that long, I'll probably really lose interest if I gotta wait that long again. Like, come on, man.
And
You know,
they've done this to us twice now, where we had to
yeah.
wait a really long time before it comes back, and it's like, okay, well,
Well,
I'm off to something else now.
I only had to wait that one time because I didn't get into it till a little bit later, and I just binge watched the first 3 seasons, and then I had to wait a long time for the fourth
Yeah,
season.
see, I was watching it
Yeah.
at the beginning. I think it might have been 3 episodes in when I first started watching it, and then it was like,
Yeah, see, when I started watching it, the 3 seasons had already, like, I just binge watched it,
to me,
so
it's like that's one of the things. I know it took a long time in between the last couple seasons of The Handmaid's Tale,
mhm,
but again, I had binge watched the majority of it. I didn't start at the beginning with everybody else. But
yeah,
at the same time, the show was so good with providing answers and then bringing on new things.
mhm,
I just had to stay engaged until we got to the end
yeah.
because I had to see where this was going to end. And that's what I'm missing from. I'm starting to get that Walking Dead feeling again where I'm getting tired of it and it feels like work to watch the show.
Well, we'll see. We'll see as it goes along. I'm still gonna stick with it. I still want to see what's going on. Like the thing that really got me excited is just the story walking because I like time travel stuff and all that. I'm real into that stuff. So the story walking is what really got me, and I want to see if Julie. Because I know Ethan and the Man in Yellow said you can't change things.
Right.
You can
Once the
only
story is told, all you can
yeah,
do is
you can't change.
participate.
But I think she's gonna find a way to change some things. Maybe just not her physically going to do something, but she's gonna find a way to, probably change something. I just want to see, what's that gonna be? Just like she threw that rope down the Boyd. I don't know if that was a change or if that was already part of the story, if that was supposed to happen. We don't know. But I think she's gonna figure out a way to manipulate the story. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's time to kill off some of these characters. But, we want to see, what do y'all think about From? Are you enjoying it? Did you give up already? What do you what do you want to see? What answer do you need to keep watching the show? Continue to like, share, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. We got a lot more coming. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.